Hey, it's Whitney from EcoVeganGal.com, and welcome back to the EVG Uncensored channel, where I share my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on things that are not necessarily related to veganism. And today, this kind of is related to veganism. As I usually say, many of the topics really are deep down, but it's not like an obvious vegan message, is the reason why I start the videos off that way, not set any expectations that it's going to be all vegan related. And today I am pondering something that I think many of you can relate to in a few different ways. So the question is, why is it so hard to get people to do things? So inspiration for this came from my book club. So some of you may or may not know that I do this book club. And I have a big frustration with it, and let me tell you why. And some of you I'm going to hold accountable because some of you are guilty. I'm not going to put anyone specifically on the spot, but I am actually really do want to hold people accountable for what goes on. And some of you may not know that I feel this way, so I'm just going to speak about it openly. And I'm trying to bring up something on my screen to support what I'm discussing today. Here it is. All right. So I have this book club that I run once a month. And basically, the concept was to bring people together to discuss books, just like the book clubs that you can do in person. And I thought this would be so wonderful that I love to read. A lot of people love to read. People want to read, but sometimes don't feel like they're held accountable for it, so they don't read. And a lot of people also want to be supported. I have people from all over the world that watch Eco Vegan Gal videos and participate online. And I love bringing people together, especially because such a common theme is I don't know anyone else who's vegan. And being part of something like a book club is a really fantastic way to have a discussion, to meet like-minded people and all of that. So I started this actually a few years ago, tried it out for a few months, and then life got in the way. And then a few months ago, I got determined to start it up again. And here's my big frustration. So I have it's held mainly through Google Plus, and I have over 200 people that are in the Google Plus group. And then there's a newsletter sign up so that people will be notified when their notifications go out about the book club. And I think I have over 100 people signed up for that newsletter. So there's a lot of people relatively, right? I mean, not a massive group of people, but they're a lot. And every month I put out some options for the book and people vote. And every month, I usually get about 30 people of that, let's say, total of 200. 30 people will vote for the book, and the book is chosen. And then I put up a event page for when the discussion is going to happen. And I usually get, I would say, around 10 people that RSVP, right? And 10 people sounds really wonderful. This past week, I had 12 people RSVP to the discussion, which actually just finished before I started recording this video. 12 people RSVP'd, 12 out of 200. Not a massive number, but still pretty significant. I had a few maybes. And guess how many people showed up? 4. So a fourth of the people that RSVP'd showed up. And I honestly felt frustrated with this. I really don't like it when people RSVP and don't show up to things. And that's why I said that this might apply to some of you watching, because I know some of you watch the videos and are also part of the book club, maybe a good percentage of you. And first of all, I just want to ask you, please don't RSVP yes if you're not going to come. It's like, everybody knows how this is, and it happens so frequently in in-person events, but it happens a lot more frequently on online because maybe people just don't feel accountable. But I want you to know that you matter, and this is a part of a much bigger message, but I like starting off my stories with actual anecdotes here. It's like, say, RSVPing to a live party and then not showing up. I think that these days we kind of expect that to happen, but usually it's a pretty small percentage of people. Usually when people say yes to an in-person event, they'll actually be there, and if they can't make it, they'll notify the host, they'll change their RSVP and all of that. And I just want to take this moment to ask any of you that are part of the book club to please do that from now on, because it feels a little disrespectful to me, and maybe that's just a sensitivity for me, but it is kind of like setting up an expectation and then it gets broken time and time. And now I'm at the point where I don't even know if I want to continue doing the book club, because I am kind of sick of that happening. I put a lot of time into that, and it just feels disrespectful for me that people would say, yeah, I'm going to come and make all these promises. And this has been happening months after month after month. So of course, before I decide to do anything drastic like that, I do want to see if I can figure out a solution. And one of them is expressing how I feel. So I'm trying to figure out a way to address it to the book club members and just be really clear in a very kind and loving way. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm mad at them, because I'm not. It's just more of a frustration and a pain point for me. And I think it's something that we can all relate to, right? For me, it's like about holding yourself accountable. And that's a huge message of this Uncensored channel, is that I feel like a lot of people just do things without realizing how it affects others. And maybe that is part of the big problem. Somebody said something today during the book club. I think the message that I got was that this person felt like it was because we did a giveaway. And I asked if everybody had entered the giveaway. And actually, the majority of the people that were there did not enter the giveaway. That was actually part of what was really weird about people not showing up, is that I did a giveaway of February's book, and I was giving it away to 2 people. And part of the giveaway rules were that you had to be there live if you wanted to win. So you could enter, but you wouldn't win the book unless you were there live to find out who won. So I went through the list of people who entered, and I only picked the people that were there live. And I asked one person why they didn't enter, and I think they said that they felt like they just weren't going to win, so they didn't bother. And I find that so interesting. I think that ties into this feeling of not mattering. And I think that's why some people don't follow through with what they say. So I wonder, do those people that RSVP that they were going to come today but didn't actually show up, is that because they don't feel like they matter? It also ties into something that I think I talked about a while back on this channel, which was being on time. And that's something that can be looked at in a few different ways, but I know that when I don't show up on time, it's often because I feel like it doesn't matter if I show up on time or not. And the times where I definitely do show up on time, it's because I feel like it does matter. It is important. And I think that really has a lot to do with the decisions that we make. We want to feel like we matter. And when we do feel like we matter, that's when we show up, right? That's when we get there on time. That's when we follow through with what we say. But a lot of times, if we feel like, it doesn't really matter if I do this or not, then we don't do them, or we do them kind of half-assed. And I think that says so much about human psychology. It's definitely true. I do that all the time. So every day I have this long list of things that I want to accomplish, and I go through it and I'm like, it doesn't matter if I do this or not. So a lot of times I just won't do it, right? That's kind of how I prioritize. This isn't as important. And I think that it's so important for us to remember when we do matter. So that is actually what I'm going to be proactive about with the book club, is I need to remind people that they matter, that it actually matters to me when people show up. And I think maybe people think that, Whitney's not even going to notice if I'm not there, but I do actually notice. The book club is actually very important to me, and I want it to do well. So if any of you are part of it, please know that it matters. I would actually rather that you take yourself off the mailing list and you take yourself out of the group rather than be there and not do anything. And that overwhelming group of people that are just there. They're getting the messages, they're getting the notifications, they're getting the emails, and they're just not doing anything about it. I see this all the time, and this is true everywhere right now. This is true on YouTube. The overwhelming majority of you who watch these videos never comment. The overwhelming majority of you that watch these videos don't even give a thumbs up, right? Why? I really want you to ask yourself that. Why don't you take action? Why do you just watch? Is it because you feel like you don't matter? Or is it because you don't really care? And how much of a difference is there between caring and mattering? It's kind of the same thing. Sometimes we don't care because we feel like we don't matter. And I really want you to know that you matter. You matter especially to me because you're here watching this video right now. The people who watch this Uncensored channel, subscribe to it, who watch all of them, who comment, matter so much. I might even argue that they matter more than any other channel because this is such an intimate place. But in general, maybe you're watching this video and you've never watched one of my videos before on this channel, or maybe ever. Maybe you have no idea who I am. You still really matter. And that is a huge issue with progress happening, is that most people don't take action because they don't feel like they matter enough. Oh, it doesn't matter. How often do you say that? As I said, I say that pretty frequently. And after recording this video, I want to check myself on that more because everything matters. We only have a short amount of time in life. So wouldn't we want to make decisions? Wouldn't we want to do things that reflect how much we matter? Why would we bother doing things if we don't feel like they matter or we matter? Why would we waste our time or our energy? Why would we waste somebody else's time or energy? Right? I mean, frankly, it's a waste of my time for me to put together this book club and not have that many people show up, right? Now, granted, the people that did show up, those people really matter to me. The people that come back to the book club every single week and participate, those people are huge in my heart. And I'm trying to reinforce that message to let them know. And actually, I'm also trying to check myself and recognize that matters even when there's a small group of people. Maybe they matter even more, right? We have this intimate discussion together, more so than if there was a massive group of people there. So I guess it's important for me to acknowledge that too. And I certainly don't want to disrespect the people that do show up. And I think that that's also another important thing, especially for me, because as a creator, and many business people experience this, we focus so much on the negative and not so much on the positive. So I'm trying to shift my mentality to focus on the people that did show up today versus the people that didn't, right? But I'm also trying to be proactive to help prevent the people that don't show up from continuing to do that. I want them to show up. But that's a side note here. I'm having allergies today that are very frustrating, so you see this all the time with me. I don't even need to explain it, but I do get a little self-conscious about blowing my nose and wiping my nose and itching my nose. The other thing that I was going to say too is, so there are a few different ways I've noticed in my life about how I feel like I don't matter. And another place is actually leaving YouTube comments. I find that I will not leave a comment if I don't think that the creator's going to see them. I find this especially when there's a really popular video. I almost never comment on those videos because I think, who's going to see this? What's the point? But I also never quite know. I don't know who's scrolling through the comments. I don't know how that comments affects them, right? I don't know if the creator is writing them. And I think that after recording this video today, I want to try a challenge of commenting on every single YouTube video I watch, which is like a big thing. But now that I am really tapping into what it feels like on the other end, I think all of those comments matter. All of those thumbs ups and the thumbs downs matter. All of the subscribers matter to us. And this is true on every social media network. I mean, every single person helps. It makes it bigger, right? It makes it feel more important, the more the masses there. And that's kind of where I'm going with this bigger message. The book club anecdote is really just a metaphor for people in general. How many people say they're going to do something and don't do it? How many people don't do it at all? How many people know about something but don't do anything about it, right? There are plenty of examples constantly. And the trouble with life is, of course, that we're juggling so many different things. We have so many different options and we might feel overwhelmed. So we can't say yes to everything, of course. We do say yes to the things that matter to us, though. So I think that the best thing to do, the best kind of solution to this problem is that we should really only focus on the things that matter to us. And that way we can allow them to matter to other people. So don't join an online book club if you're not going to actually show up. That to me is like the solution there. Go spend your time on something that really matters to you. Don't, what's another example of this that's blanking right now? Like how, I don't know. I mean, signing up for something and paying for something. Sometimes people pay for things and they don't even do them or use them, right? People just like collecting things. And I think that that's kind of this ongoing issue. And I actually talked about this on my venture channel recently, my business channel, about why I unsubscribe to people or I unfollow people on Instagram. I noticed recently that my Instagram feed was just full of stuff I didn't care about that didn't matter to me. So I started unfollowing people and I had to deal with some guilt there, but I also realized, what is the point of following people if they don't matter to me? I'm wasting their time, right? So while they might be slightly offended if they're unfollowed, deep down, I'm actually opening up room for more people that really care to follow them back. Or for them to even change it, right? That was another thing I positioned in that video is when people stop paying attention, there's usually an issue. And that's what I'm examining with the book club right now is maybe there's a reason. There's got to be a reason people sign up and don't come. Right? What is it about it? So for me, it's like tweaking all that stuff. And I know I can't please everyone, but it's also a great opportunity to examine it, right? So that is important too. We could look at it in so many different ways. If people aren't responding to what you're putting out there, maybe it needs to be tweaked. Or maybe you need to be patient, or maybe you need to appeal to a different group of people. But I also really want you to look at your own life as I am right now and think about, where are you showing up and what are you not showing up to and why? And also just deeply know that you do matter. Your decisions affect people. They affect me. Your comments affect me, your likes affect me, your subscriptions affect me. Everywhere that you are on the Eco Vegan Gal, it really does matter. I love hearing from each and every one of you. That is like the ultimate joy for me, is when people write to me on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, or they show up for a book club group. It matters. So it's not just about me, of course. I think you probably matter so much more to people than you realize. And your decisions matter so much more to the world than you may realize. So do something about it. Show up. Do what matters to you. And if something doesn't matter to you, take it out of your life. Let it go. It doesn't have to be there. What's the point of something being stagnant? Change can't happen if something's stagnant. But if you want to make big change, if you want to feel important to the world, if you want to feel like you matter, then take action and show people that they matter to you. I feel really inspired right now. So one huge place that I've been feeling guilty is not responding to all the comments, and that's a huge task. It's really overwhelming to me, but this video is that something that I really want to do too, is respond to everybody and really think of a way to let them know that they matter to me too. And I'm open to your feedback about me specifically, about the book club specifically, but I also just want to hear your general feedback. Like, where have you learned lessons about this? Do you feel like you matter? Where have been examples where people matter to you, or where you felt like you didn't matter to somebody? Anything on this topic, I would love to hear. Please leave a comment. It would be really cool if the majority of people who watch this leave a comment. Just be bold. This is a safe place. The Uncensored channel is like the safest YouTube channel I have. So if whatever's holding you back, please just put something out there or message me privately, because I love, 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 love hearing from you. And I think it would be so cool if I could somehow get the majority of people watching to comment, because I want to know what's holding people back. I really do. I'm very, very curious about that. The psychology of that really fascinates me. And actually, it started to happen more and more. I think something is working, because I've started noticing people writing their very first comment. Somebody told, multiple people I think told me in the past few days, I've been watching you for years and this is the first time I've ever commented. And I was like blown away, you know. But maybe there's probably YouTubers that I've done the same thing with and just never commented on before because I didn't think I mattered to them. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to reply to your comments more often, and I'm going to respond to or comment on other videos as well because I matter. I'm taking that stand, and I want you to say that. I would love for you to say that out loud, but if people are around you right now, just whisper it to yourself or say it inside or type it somewhere. You could even leave that as your comment. If you have nothing else to say, just type I matter. And not me, Whitney, but you, the commenter. Type that you matter. That'd be awesome. Sending you so much love. Thanks for watching. Look forward to your comments and your thumbs up. If this happens to be your first video, subscribe if you like this content. I put it out every Sunday, and I have another video that I'll be uploading soon to this channel. So sometimes I do bonus videos throughout the week. And I'll see you next time. You can find more information about Eco Vegan Gal at ecovegangal.com and the main Eco Vegan Gal channel. Plus, you can check out the daily vlogs happening at the What a Vegan Eats channel. And if you are interested in the business side of things, check out the Venture channel. All those links are right down below in the description field. See you later.